Hello and welcome back to the Gaming Dave. Time for another news video. I'm just going to kind of rattle off a list of headlines because I didn't really have time to go into much detail. Okay, let's get right to it. First off, the standalone DLC for Wolfenstein The New Order called The Old Blood has been released today and it's come out to pretty good reviews and looks like a really solid standalone DLC. So if you enjoyed The New Order and you like the Wolfenstein games, maybe go give this a look. The E3 press conference dates have been announced. They're running from June the 14th to June the 16th, and they're roughly running around our time in sort of like the evening, because it's being, of course, held in the Anaheim Convention Center. So it's a case of it'll be like Pacific time. I'll put a list to those in the description if you want to watch them live. I would be watching them live, but I have exams, so that kind of sucks. The countdown that I mentioned last week was actually for a Black Mesa re-release that has now appeared on Steam Early Access. So yeah, that's kind of like another great thing, and more Valve work is always something that's greatly appreciated. Mirror's Edge 2 has been pushed to early 2016. That's kind of like the window that they're hoping for the release. Also, Titanfall has been said that it will not be released in 2015. I think if they're taking as much time as they want with Titanfall 2, that's fine by me, just as long as it's a good game. Next up in Blizzard news, we have, in Heroes of the Storm, we have Kael'thas, the High Prince of the Blood Elves, is the next hero to be added to the roster, and the final game is coming out at the start of June, so maybe we're going to see some more characters being added over the next few weeks leading to the final launch. World of Warcraft has lost 3 million subs in the past 3 months. That is a lot. And obviously this was to kind of be expected, as it's a pattern that is found quite commonly in World of Warcraft, that when a new expansion is launched, there is a definite spike in subscribers, and this one saw one of the biggest spikes in subscribers because Warlords of Draenor was a very good expansion, but this has also led to one of the biggest downfalls of subscriptions. So it'll be interesting to see with later patches how that kind of balances out, whether it goes up, whether it continues to go down. An Assassin's Creed reveal has been announced for next week at the 12th of May, so that is tomorrow. It was originally going to be called Victory, but if sources from a Kotaku leak are correct, then it's actually going to be called Syndicate. The reveal will be approximately 12th of May, about 5 o'clock British time, so maybe give that a look if you're interested. Battlefleet Gothic, the next 40k based title from the people over at Focus Home Interactive, has had an announcement and reveal trailer, and it looks pretty badass. There's all like space combat, and there's big spaceships, and they're flying through, and it looks really, really cool. I'll put a link to the trailer in the description if you're interested. I'm a big fan of esports, as you can tell, and the next step forward in esports being recognised that has now been added into the dictionary, which I think is an absolutely fantastic gesture. So, great job, guys. A cheater in Guild Wars 2 was spotted, and he was then publicly humiliated by having his character stripped, deleted, and then finally being banned from the game completely. This shows a no-nonsense policy on cheating, which I think is really good, and the little public display was a nice touch. Going on some Star Wars Battlefront news, it's said to have 12 maps available at launch. The single-player content is to be kind of based around the films, and it will have no iron sight aiming. So, bunch of interesting little details that have been coming out of Battlefront, and I'm sure we'll see more and more over the next few months leading up to its release, and probably quite a bit will be coming out at E3. Soul Calibur devs want to know your favourite character from the series for some reason. Now, there's been no explanation towards this, but hopefully it might lead to a Soul Calibur 6, and if that is the case, please don't mess it up. I do not want another Soul Calibur 5, so come on. Hopefully this will be good news. Next up, we have some Black Ops 3 details that have been released, and said that it's going to be overhauling the AI. So hopefully this is going to lead to a stronger single-player campaign, and it's probably also going to give us some more interesting zombie stuff, maybe, for when that comes out. So that'll be interesting to see how this overhaul is really going to take effect. Tony Hawk Pro Skater 5 is definitely coming this year, and the developers behind it are the same ones that did the HD re-release of Tony Hawk Pro Skater. So that's really interesting to see, and it'll be nice to have like a final release date for when we can get our hands on some good old Tony Hawk's Pro Skater game. A retail version of the Oculus Rift is said to be coming in early 2016. Now, I am really hyped for this. Really can't wait to see how much it's going to cost or what's going to be like, and it's just going to be fantastic that we're actually going to be able to get our hands on them, and it's really exciting. Nintendo rides are coming to Universal Parks, so yay, Nintendo-themed roller coasters, if you're into that. So that's cool. Next up, as was Next up, as we're getting closer to the release of Batman Arkham Knight, we're getting more and more details as to kind of some of the other characters, including the identity of Batgirl. It is said that Batgirl is going to be Barbara Gordon, so that does kind of raise the question of who is Oracle, because Oracle is also usually meant to be Barbara Gordon, so it's going to be interesting as to how they sort of tie all that up. So that's going to be pretty interesting when the game comes out. The new Guitar Hero game, Guitar Hero Live, is said to be going for a bit of a long run, with about a 3-year plan. So it'll be interesting to see how this tends to implement that plan. I imagine it'll be like either individual songs or song packs or things like that. So, and also it'll be interesting to see what they hope to do after those 3 years are up. So that was a brief rundown of the headlines that I found interesting over the past week. Is there anything else that I missed, or is there anything that you want to mention? Just let me know down in those comments down below. Hopefully some Let's Play videos will be going up soon, and some other content when I can get it done. I'm the Gaming Dave. I'll see you next time.